Welcome back, everyone. This is Thomas Triple T Ty with another new bullish crypto analysis. Let's dig in and take a look at the charts and see how Bitcoin is doing against the other equities markets around the world. We are in trading view with looking at the 30-minute time frame. The vertical green lines mark this vertical green line here. The first one marks yesterday's market opening. The second, further to the right, vertical green lines mark the market opening today. Let's take a look at what has happened. So Bitcoin has pretty much went up, down, range in the last 24 hours, and then at market opening today, it rose a little bit, dipped down, and now it's just slightly higher than where it was at market opening at 37.6K, 0.7K. So on the higher side for today. What's the Dixie doing? Dixie in the last 24 hours has been rising. There was a period when it dipped, but it rose back up. And then right before market opening, it dipped down, and then it regained some momentum. So how is it doing against Bitcoin? Well, while Bitcoin was chopping, it went up. So now it's going up. The Dixie's going up, and Bitcoin's going up. So what that's telling me is that this rise here, this current last few hour rise. Excuse me, I want to sneeze. It's not organic. So more than likely, this rise here in the last 2 hours will drop for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the 10-year U.S. bonds. It's in the last 24 hours, it tanked, and then just before market opening, it rose, and then it still continued to rise with a little red candle right now. But overall, it's rising since market opening. The NASDAQ in the last 24 hours, it tanked, and then it rose just after market opening, and then went sideways. Same thing with the S&P 500, trended down in the last 24 hours after market opening, and went up, went sideways. Now it's going back up again. So correlation with Bitcoin, somewhat in the last few hours, at least an hour and a half. For the Dow, last 24 hours pretty much went sideways, slightly down. Market opening trended slightly down. So what does that tell us about the U.S. market? Well, I did another video earlier this morning talking about the market news, etc. And we saw that the equities market, there were some spots where it was green, but overall it was mostly red, not deep red, but mostly red. And the crypto market overall was green. And that's reflected here. Let's go to Europe. We already discussed Bitcoin, so let's go to the index CAC in France. In the last 24 hours, it tanked, a pretty brutal tank right there, and then it went back up, but no, it hasn't recovered to its previous 24-hour level yet, but it's trending up. And this period right here, it is trending up with Bitcoin. So that's interesting. The period of trending down, kind of some parts correlated with Bitcoin here and here. But it did not rise like Bitcoin did. Over in Germany, the DAX index, last 24 hours, it tanked like the CAC in France, and then went back up. Oh, so similar. Look at that. 24 hours tanked down, 24 hours tanked down, went back up. So similar. Also similar is the UK 100 index, went down in the last 24 hours and creeping slowly up, but not at the same pace as Germany and France. So what does this tell us about what's going on? Well, choppiness. You can see that just up, down, just like choppiness across Europe. they were doing pretty good for a while, since the 24th and up until until the 27th, and then some corrections here. Let's go to Asia and Australia. The yellow line is where we can align some of these because they're in such different time zones. Green lines again, market opening from yesterday. First green line, second green line is market opening today. The STOXX 600 is 600 companies from around the world. That one pretty much looks similar to the European indexes. It went down in the last 24 hours and creeping back up. The Hang Seng, a Hong Kong index. I think I need to move this up a little bit. It's tanking. So since the last time we visited, it pretty much went down and kind of consolidating here. Over in, make sure that I move these so you can see them. Boop, boop, boop. That's good. Over in the South Korea, the KOSPI index, it trended down in the last 24 hours, and then you can see here it's getting back up, but nowhere near where it was. Look at that downtrend. Same thing with the SPDR S&P index in Australia. It trended down, now it's climbing back up. These two are very similar. Likewise with this index from Japan, the Nikkei, I think it's Nikkei. It trended down, climbing back up. So all the South Korea, Australia, Japan, and they look very similar. Hong Kong looks very different. Hong Kong looks like it's taken a nosedive and just like crashed landing right here. So that's pretty much what the market looks like, and now we're back in our U.S. equities market here. So what do I think is going to happen? There's a lot of volatility around the world, a lot of choppiness up and down, but we're seeing some similar patterns here to Bitcoin. So there's some correlations there, especially in the U.S. So I mainly, in times like this, I trust the negative correlation between the Dixie, this chart, and Bitcoin. And it's interesting that we see other patterns growing out of Europe versus Bitcoin. So that's it. Quick update. If you found value, go ahead and smash the like, ring my bell, and hit subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next video today. Peace.